In this video, I want to give you my initial thoughts on SlayerLabs. Now, if you've never heard of SlayerLabs, it's an online lab platform, but it's kind of claim to fame as it has massive networks. I mean, over 25 endpoints in some of these networks that teach you all about Active Directory. There's standalone machines, but there's pretty complex networks that you are able to attack. Now, I have never done SlayerLabs, and the only thing I've done up to the point of this video is I got the VPN configured and just made sure it was working, but I haven't done anything from there. I wanted to make this video and give you my true, honest first reaction to SlayerLabs, and do want to give a shout out to SlayerLabs. I reached out to them to purchase VPN access, and they said, hey, actually, we'll just give you 30 days of free access just to see what you think, because I told them I was going to make a video about it. So want to give a shout out to SlayerLabs for giving me the access for free. But hey, always happy to support you and all the other creators of these networks. But let me go ahead and share my screen. Here is their website. So SlayerLabs.com. I will go ahead and grab a link and drop it in chat for those of you watching the live stream. For those of you watching the standalone video, you should see a link to this in the description. But here is SlayerLabs. Networks engineered to exploit. It only costs $14.99 a month to subscribe, which when you see everything it gives you access to, I think that's an incredible deal. If you've ever heard of Hack the Box Pro Labs, it reminds me a lot like those, but honestly a little more advanced, more machines, and a lot more affordable than Hack the Box Pro Labs. You can see subscribe to gain access to all of the ranges, and we'll pull those up. You'll be provided with the VPN kit, allowing access to the entire SlayerLabs platform, and that's what I set up before jumping on here. I just set up the VPN to make sure everything was working, but we have access to all cyber ranges, totaling 130 VM targets, Unix, Windows, web apps, pivoting, and more. Cancel anytime, no fees. We have SlayerLabs. We have an open range network. We already kind of talked about that. Engineered with a focus on post-exploitation techniques, lateral movement, pivoting, credential harvesting, and more. Which that is what seems appealing to me, because so many machines don't have that. The goal is just like get initial access. It's one machine, get root or get administrator, and then you are done. You don't have to collect creds. You don't have to pivot around. That sounds like a lot of fun. Low price. It really is a low price, which is amazing for what it seems to offer. Now, I haven't done it. I don't know how good it is, but based on what they say, it's quite crazy how affordable it is. And this is the other thing that sounds interesting. Some ranges have a campaign mode. Each campaign offers missions which provide navigational hints, ultimately guiding you to the final box. That just sounds like a lot of fun. Now here's the different ranges that there are. Each range has an overall difficulty rating, security focus theme, and other unique features. Check out each one to get more details. Once subscribed, you will select which range you want access to. You can then reselect to enable another range so you aren't locked into just one. So we can just pull up a few of these, maybe 3 of them to look at. Is there any that seem, well, Roadhouse, I think, is one of the OGs, so let's check out that one. But, oh, there's even a video with it. So Zeta Tours, beginner, intermediate friendly lab, major focus on Unix and web-based exploits, along with intel collecting and pivoting. Storyline heavy, so analysis of collective files is a must in order for lateral movement. We have a storyline along 11 missions. Very cool. All right, let's check out Kinetic. This is a primarily Windows-focused attacks to include heavy pivoting and post-exploitation. Gives an overview of the services that we are doing, the techniques that we're doing. Looks like some pretty advanced AD type attacks, from domain admin to enterprise admin. Oh, and there's a Udemy course. Okay, cool. So looks like you can check out their Udemy course. They have almost 400 students in it, and the Udemy course comes with free 7-day access to it. So they must use this lab as part of that course. Unique features: exploit your way to domain admin multiple times, 1 primary domain and 4 other. So there's multiple domains. That's really cool. So we have some child domains and a parent domain. Sweet. What does it say how many machines each one of these are? Oh, wow. So this network is 5 domains and 6 subnets. That's a lot. Just do Goat. I've never really done Goat much. I should probably check out Goat as well. Oh, look at this. This is bigger than Goat, I'm pretty sure. The total boxes for this are 25 VMs. Bro, that's crazy. That has to be one of the largest networks I've seen. Here, I just dropped a Udemy link if you guys want to check it out. But seriously, 25 virtual machines. Hold up, what was the other one? I didn't see Zeta Tours because I didn't see that up there. Okay, so the Zeta Tours is 11. Wow. SlayerLabs is 25. Blitz is 14 Windows and Unix systems. This has 3 mini labs. Each lab is separate from one another with a different theme and security focus. Concentration on offense basics, AD, tunneling, web apps, and post-exploitation. Free range with pivoting. Total of 3 Windows domains and 4 subnets. That is crazy. So there's mini labs. We have Cyborg, 6 Windows VMs. Cosmic Nightmare, 1 Linux and 2 Windows. And Treasure Hunt, 2 Windows and 3 Linux, no AD. Wow. All right. Roadhouse, I think, is their original. And look at this, guys. 25 machines for Roadhouse as well. Bro, that's crazy. And I think it's one of their first ones released in March 2020. I'm guessing they keep them updated. I have no idea. Overall difficulty intermediate, a wide range of vulnerabilities with a focus on web apps and pivoting. This might be like a first good machine to start, and maybe we'll just try to launch this machine and check it out. Mode is free range. Network is 2 domains, 3 subnets. Yeah, here it is. The first cyber range developed on SlayerLabs. It has commonly used exploits throughout the range, making it overall intermediate. Full stack of pen testing from enumeration to pivoting. No exploit development or manual buffer overflows. I freaking hate buffer overflows, so that's good. Some boxes are dependent on owning others, collecting creds, nodes, hashes. These are outlined once you have lab access. Not all boxes need to be owned in order to get the final box, but nothing is stopping you from owning all of them. That's pretty cool. So there must be multiple ways to get to the end goal, which I like that. It reminds me of the red team capstone on Try Hack Me, where you didn't have to solve everything to complete goal execution. There was multiple ways to get there. Kali or similar VM is needed. Majority of exploits can be found in ExploitDB. That's really cool. For those of you guys in chat right now, we have almost 80 people on the live stream. Drop a comment. Just let me know your initial thoughts so far on SlayerLabs. My initial thought right here is like, this seems to be an incredibly well-kept secret. Like, I don't know why I haven't heard more about this. I stumbled across SlayerLabs when I was looking, I think, at VulnLab and just looking at other lab platforms. And I think I saw a Reddit post about it. And that's when I pulled it up and looked at it. But I don't know why this isn't more well-known. So hopefully this video makes it a little more well-known that people check this out. I mean, how affordable it is and everything it offers about our platform. Just want to see if there's anything here that I maybe missed. Our labs are engineered with real-world scenarios and practicality in mind. That stands out to me because, as many of you know, I don't like CTFs and puzzly type things. But based on how this is designed, it seems to be as real-world as possible. Let's see. Our platform offers a unique experience, allows the user to access more than just one target, blah, blah. How it works. So here's the one thing that was confusing to me. And I don't know if the maker of SlayerLabs will watch this, but in order to subscribe, to request access, you have to email them. So you can't just like sign up on their website, but maybe that's on purpose. I really don't know. Maybe they're trying to limit access because there are so many machines. I don't know if it costs more money or anything like that, but I don't know. Why is VulnHub not working? I don't use VulnHub, so I don't know. But in order to get access, you do need to email them. Now, from my experience, I emailed them and they got back to me within just a few hours, and I emailed them like late at night. So they must do a good job of watching their email. But this is what I did. I sent them an email and I just said, hey, I want a new subscription. And I said, hey, I'm a YouTuber and I want to make like a first reactions video about your platform, but would like to, purchase VPN access. And they said, hey, we'll give it to you for free for 30 days and just let us know your thoughts on it. So that's what I'm doing. But it was super easy. I just emailed to them and they got back to me quick. They said, is it okay if we are in Europe? So I think before SlayerLabs had a location restriction. I only know this from Reddit. I saw some posts from a few years ago saying you had to be in the US, but that's no longer the case. There is, as far as I know, no location restriction for SlayerLabs, but don't quote me. This is literally my first reaction to things. You can check it out. Hey, what up, Shy Hat? Good to have you here. I hope you didn't raid me because I missed it if you did, but good to have you hanging out. But okay, we have kind of looked at it. Now, I said before I got my VPN set up. I am on the VPN. let's go ahead and check this out. So here is the control panel they give you. I don't know what Intel is. Let's just click on each one of these. You know what? Before I show all of this, let me make sure there's nothing sensitive on any of these pages. I doubt there is. I'm going to very quickly click through these to make sure I can show you guys all of them, which it looks like I can. Okay. I can. Sweet. Let me jump back to this. Let's look at Intel and just see everything it covers. It has, of course, my username. I don't think that's private in any way. But each range has its own control panel, which provides you with range-specific hints, intel, and the ability to revert targets. Are these not shared with other people? Like, do you get the whole range to yourself? That would be crazy if you do. Like, do I get 25 VMs to myself? If so, that's amazing. Oh, thank you. Okay, X-Ticker. X-Ticker knows a little more than me. He said, for info, the platform has shared access. You can change network once every 24 hours, or 24 hours, you'll need to select a range and reconnect. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. So I want to do Roadhouse. We'll get that opened up. Changing ranges. To update which range you want to access, go to the range control page, select your preferred range, and then click activate. Although tempting, do not click the button multiple times. Once you click it once, it'll take a few seconds to process, and you should see red active text appear. Once activated, you won't be able to switch to another range for 24 hours. So if I would have just kept reading, I would have got my answer to that. Once you've switched ranges, make sure to restart your VPN connection. End current VPN session, start a new one with an open VPN, config OVPN, enter creds, keep terminal open. Okay, got it. Without switching ranges, where do I go to get more info about each range? We already read through those. When I switch ranges, it says user not found and range says none even after starting the VPN. Is there a bandwidth limit running heavy scans? Will my connection get dropped? Typically not, but in some cases, yes. Sending 10 gigabytes of traffic in less than 24 hours, being connected for 7 days straight. Utilize a target list on each control page, which in most cases gives you the IP as a target. Running aggressive scans in a targeted manner against 1 or 2 hosts likely won't trip any data caps, but running aggressive scans against 100s of hosts simultaneously will. All right, cool. Well, let's check out some of the other stuff. We have range control. So this is where I can click the ranges, which I think I opened. Oh, no, that opened that one right there. So if I want to control Roadhouse, I must click it there. We'll do that. And then we have, looks like some single targets. So listed below are single standalone targets to practice your exploits on. Targets may be CTF oriented or some may be designed around a single CVE. Click the targets button for hints. First, make sure it is powered on. If you cannot ping the IP it is down, go to enable or revert page. So let's just click one. Public VM with many write-ups. For the target to work, add the following to your host file. Okay. So open source, purposely vulnerable web app. So these are like, these could be maybe web apps from VulnHub that they're hosting as well. Yeah, WebGoat's a classic. So just some single targets that you can play around with. Public boot to root VM. Public VM with many write-ups. Cool. Oh, okay. Click the button one time and wait a few seconds. Once active, you can close this tab. Okay. Guys, how many times should I click it? Should I do it 10 times? Just kidding. I'm going to click it one time. All right? I clicked it one time, although they said it is tempting. Be sure to restart your VPN before accessing. Okay, so I must need to restart it. Okay. How do I... Here, I'm going to go to range control. Roadhouse. Oh, so before I access anything, I need to restart my VPN. Okay, got it. Well, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I have to input my password and stuff for the VPN. Let me restart my VPN. And then I'll go back to sharing my screen and we'll see if we can at least get Road whatever launched. And that'll be the end, at least, of the standalone video. and then we'll play around with it. Okay. I got my VPN back on now. So now, if I try to open this, close this window, pick another range, or go to that for the Roadhouse control page. That's what I'm trying to get to, is the Roadhouse control page. Okay. So once we launch the VPN, then we get to the Roadhouse control page. We have the dossier, range intel, and revert VM. So let's just look through some of these options. All right, you've received intelligence of an ominous corporation developed dangerously advanced AI and robotics. We're attacking OpenAI. Security is tight on this ominous corp, but you've managed to gain access to a recently acquired company of theirs, Roadhouse. This newly acquired company is full of vulnerabilities and multiple paths to compromise the network. Can you save humanity by attaining the key on the final machine? It gives us our goal. Obtain domain admin creds in the Roadhouse network by gaining root level access on machines throughout the domain. If you are skilled enough, pivot and own the Robotics Corp domain once domain admin creds are obtained from Roadhouse. Sources say there's a final tucked away machine beyond the robotics network that contains the final key. Do you have what it takes to get there? I have no idea. All right, a few rules. In-scope IPs are this except those. Do not scan or attempt to gain access to systems or networks out of scope. Domain controllers .15 are not meant to be exploited, as in any POC that could potentially take down the domain for others. Future abuse against domains is definitely allowed. Do not change any IPs, manual text, DOS, drop malware, attempt to compromise infrastructure. So that means like the actual infrastructure, like VPN infrastructure and stuff. Hints: root or privilege level access is not needed on every box within this range. Juicy findings in journals, notes, emails, etc. are the key. It may be useful to copy and save all the findings for later use. So in other words, make sure you're taking good notes, just like a real engagement. You may not get very far if you just get root and move on to the next box. If you are lost, follow the breadcrumbs attained. There are multiple paths to obtain domain admin. This is what I think will be my favorite thing. All conventional methods will eventually bring you to Die Hard, which will lead you to DA. If you are sure a method should be working, try using another tool. Tools such as Metasploit may bring up intel in map scripts, did not. Hydra may return inaccurate results at times, try other targeted tools. Hashes obtained may or may not be crackable, just like the real world. Some creds may lead nowhere, yet others may lead to high privilege access. So very, very real world to an internal pen test here. Be wary of lockouts due to too many failed login attempts. I'm curious how that works if it's a shared lab with other people. Can other people lock it on an accident? I don't know. Not all boss levels need to be compromised to make it to the next network. So there are boss levels. That's cool. Let's jump back. We have our range intel. Difficulty rating is based on the hue. Darker is more difficult. Multiple VMs may depend on gaining privilege level access. Maybe I should turn off dark mode? There. If you have dark mode on, everything is the same hue. Dependent VMs along with the boss's levels are noted below. So that's nice that we know which ones are dependent, because that was one thing. This might be different now, but when I did the Pen 200, they have, I don't even know what to call it. There's like a network in the Pen 200, but it was never clear what machines you needed to compromise before compromising the next machine, which honestly really pissed me off. So I'm glad it says, hey, these are the ones you need to compromise first in order to get to the boss. So these are initial access non-dependent systems. Order does not matter. So that's really cool. You can begin with any of these machines for initial access. Second level, likely need root or admin access on other systems. So it tells us that. So we're going to use information that we find on these systems in order to get to the second level. And then dependent root or admin access not required. Low privilege service access will do. Oh, interesting. So these will need a root or admin access. These two machines just need low privilege or a service account. Might be able to give us access. We have boss levels. Mad Max, Tombstone, Die Hard, and Repo Man, and Thunderdome. Can I click these? Clicking them doesn't do anything. So these were not even given the IPs. So once we are in here at second level, we must need to do enumeration. I'm guessing maybe some pivoting, because I noticed these are all 25 networks. I bet we have to do some pivoting. One of these hosts is going to have dual homed IPs where we're going to be able to access another network, and I have a feeling it's through those we're going to try to get to the boss levels. Maybe I'm wrong. And then we have the final level, Tyrell Corp. It says do not exploit Blade Runner, but we have Last Starfighter and War Games, and then we have the final boss called the Abyss in order to complete the network. Yo, this looks really cool. To revert VMs, if we click that, each VM has its own revert page. Navigate to the VMs page by clicking the corresponding button. So I just want to see what this does. Please be patient. Use revert sparingly. Okay, I'm not going to revert it, but you can just click it and click revert if you feel like you broke something. Or we can go to domain controllers, and if you need to revert Blade Runner, go to this page. Okay. Yo, my initial reaction to SlayerLabs is this looks amazing. I mean, I'm gonna dive in and kind of see what I think about it, but this will be the end of this kind of initial review video. But my initial review is I think it's a well-kept secret. More people need to find out about SlayerLabs and dive into this. The other thing I know is they are streamer friendly. So as far as I know, and maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was talking to them via email, they were totally okay with me live streaming as I work my way through the different challenges and their platform. And that's one thing I look for. Anytime I try a new platform, I want to do platforms that are streamer friendly because I want to be able to share the content with all of you. So I will be working through this stuff on stream and maybe have some standalone videos about their content, but this looks like a lot of fun, a lot of things to keep us busy as we learn Active Directory and post-exploitation and enumeration and gathering credentials. So I'm excited to dive in and see what I think about it. Hey, if you sign up for SlayerLabs, let me know in the comments. I don't get any type of kickback from this. Just wanted to showcase this platform and give my initial thoughts, but we'll dive into it and see what we are able to learn. But for those of you watching the standalone video right now, hey, thank you for taking the time to watch. Check out SlayerLabs. Let me know your thoughts, but I'm going to dive in and see what I'm able to learn. I will see you all in the next one.